Today we're going to find the x and the y-intercept of a function, but this time we're gonna find them directly from the function. So let's start with the first function. We have y equal to 3 over 2x plus 3. Let's start with the x-intercept. So we know that the x-intercept always has the y-coordinate equal to 0. So that means we know the y-coordinate, all we need to find is the x-coordinate. Now, in order to find the x-coordinate, we have to do the following. We're going to use the same function, right? But we're gonna replace y with a 0. So instead of y, we have 0, and we are gonna solve for x. So if we solve for x, we end up with negative 3 equal to 3 over 2x, and we end up with 2 times negative 3 divided by 3, and that's equal to x. So x is equal to negative 2. Alright, so that's going to be our x-coordinate, and we have our x-intercept. So now for the y-intercept, we know that the x-coordinate is going to be equal to 0. So that means we just need to find what is the y-coordinate. Again, we're going to use the same method, which is we use the same function. We have y equal to 3 over 2x plus 3. But this time we're going to replace x with a 0, so we end up with y equal to 3 over 2 times 0 plus 3. This gets cancelled, and we end up with y equal to 3. So that's going to be our y-coordinate, and we just found the y-intercept. Now for the second function, we apply the same method. So we need to find the x-intercept. We know that the y-coordinate is always equal to 0, so we need to find what is the x-coordinate. Again, we use the same function, which is y equal to negative 5 over x minus 1. We replace y with a 0, and we end up with 0 equal to negative 1 over 5x minus 1. So we have minus 1 equal to negative 1 over 5x, and we have that x is equal to 5. So that's our x-coordinate, 5, and we just found the x-intercept. And again, the y-intercept always has the x-coordinate equal to 0. That means we need to find the y-coordinate, and again, all we have to do is replace the x with a 0 in this case. So we have y equal to negative 1 over 5 times x, but we said in this case we have 0 minus 1. So this gets cancelled, and we end up with y equal to negative 1. So that's our y-coordinate, and we just found our y-intercept. Now the third function, we want to find the x-intercept again, and we know that the y-coordinate is always equal to 0, so that means we need to find the x-coordinate. And we said we have to replace y with a 0, then solve for x, and find the x-coordinate, right? So we end up with 4 equal to 4 over 7x, so that means x is equal to 7, and that's our x-coordinate. So our x-intercept is 7,0. And finally the y-intercept, we know that the x-coordinate is always equal to 0, so in this case we have to do the opposite, which is replacing x with a 0. Now we solve for y, and we end up with y equal to negative 4. So now we have our y-coordinate, which is negative 4, and we have our y-intercept. Now to conclude, just remember that if you want to find the x-intercept, you have to equal y to 0, and if you want to find the y-intercept, you have to equal x to 0. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.